Hello and welcome to Total IELTS. Peter here, and in today's lesson I'll be looking at the IELTS reading test, how to manage your time. One of the reasons students give for getting a disappointing score in the reading test is not enough time. I didn't have enough time. This is probably because of the overall strategy that was used, so stick around and I'll show you some effective strategies on how to increase your band score. So how many words are there in an IELTS reading test? Well, in the general training and academic modules, you'll be expected to read approximately 2,500 words. That's a combination of the text and questions. So now that we know the average word count in an IELTS reading test, the obvious question is, how fast can we actually read? Well, you might be surprised to learn that research has shown, even at a slow speed, we can manage 7,500 words per 1 hour at a rate of 125 words per minute. At an average speed, we can manage 7,500 words per 25 minutes, and that's at a rate of 300 words per minute. So the average word count in IELTS shouldn't be such a huge drama. If you're struggling in the IELTS reading test, it's probably not the huge word count. After all, it's not that huge. It's more likely the reading strategy that you've adopted. Let's look at a popular strategy here, and it's called questions first. This strategy recommends that you read the questions first, highlight the key words, then scan the text and match these key words. Once you've done this, read the section slowly or the paragraph and choose the answer. This kind of reminds me of the old phrase, putting the cart before the horse. And when you think about it, does it really make sense? You're trying to find the answer to a question and you don't even know what the text is about. You haven't even read it. Therefore, you have no clue where the answer might be located. Also, matching keywords doesn't take into account the widespread use of IELTS reading test synonyms and paraphrase. So the keywords that you've actually highlighted are most likely synonyms and paraphrase from the text. If you adopt this strategy, you'll find yourself rereading the same parts of the text many, many times. Here's an alternative strategy to help you manage your time in the test. It's called the text first strategy. Start by reading the text, speed reading, in 3 to 4 minutes. As you do so, make notes about the main idea or topic of each section or paragraph. Then read the questions and use your notes to locate the section or paragraph where the answer might be. Read this section carefully and slowly and then choose your answer. So this begs the question, what is speed reading? Well, it's best to explain speed reading for what it's not. And it's not reading and trying to understand every single word you come across. There will be dozens of unknown words. It's not reading and silently mouthing the words. Now, we see kids do this a lot, but a lot of adults do it as well. Don't follow the text with your pen or pencil. Or if you're on the computer, don't use the cursor to do the same thing. Don't stop to figure out all the unknown words. And the main killer of time is rereading. Now, we all come across sentences and parts of sentences that we don't fully understand, so we tend to reread these again 2 or 3 times. And don't overthink too much about the ideas in the text. Let's look at this text first strategy in action. Now, I've already speed read the text and summarized it as the reason why the FAA was established for this particular section. The question type is our old favorite, true, false, not given, and statement 20 says the FAA was created as a result of the introduction of the jet engine. So I can quickly go back to the text and locate the section or paragraph where this information is included. And the answer is obviously false because it was created because of an accident. I've also highlighted here the use of synonyms, establishment and created. One important point to note here is the changes that have recently occurred in the IELTS reading test. It used to be that the questions were always in the order the information appears in the text. And the golden rule was always follow the question numbers for the order of the answers. In other words, you won't find the answer for number 10 before number 9. However, recent research with IELTS papers has shown that this is not always the case now, and it can happen that the answer for number 10 appears before number 9, although this is quite rare. When it comes to the test, try to adopt the most effective overall reading strategy. Speed read the text first and summarize the information in each section or paragraph. This will avoid a lot of unnecessary rereading and time wasting. In the paper test, always write your answers directly on the answer sheet. Don't try to transfer near the end of the test, as this will literally take you about 5 or even more minutes. Don't spend too much time on one question. If you're struggling with it, skip it or just guess. And remember, never leave an unanswered question because there's no minus points for wrong answers.